Yeah, I saw him. They went for a walk in the neighborhood. That was about all I saw.
Okay, so you saw him. Okay, September. I'm sure you don't remember the day, right?
I want to say it was Thursday or Friday before we knew Gabby was missing.
Okay, great. So what did you see?
They, as a family, the mom, dad, and him came out to take a stroll in the neighborhood. That was really all.
You didn't think anything of it?
No, not at all.
Looked like a normal interaction.
Yeah, we'd seen them do that before, so it never seemed strange to us that they would go for a walk through the neighborhood. So.
And then Gabby, over the last 2 years, you used to see her all the time?
They actually hadn't been in the house for the last 2 years. Okay. The whole family, they didn't actually, there was somebody renting the house.
I read that, yeah.
And so, but once they moved in, we did see her occasionally.
Yeah.
Not very often. We saw Brian more so as they were working on the van, but we didn't see her terribly often, every now and then.
So you saw him working on the van. What was he doing?
Woodwork, putting up paneling or making a bench, it looked like, of some sort in the van. We didn't know that they were converting the van. We just knew that they were working on it. Yeah. So.
And when you saw him come back, your initial reaction was he's back from his trip?
Yeah, because at that point, I didn't know that she formally lived here. I thought maybe she was visiting. So, because we just, they hadn't been here very long, so I didn't know if she was just a girlfriend visiting and that sort of thing.
What's your reaction to all this now? How are you? You guys have been the front row seat to this thing. How are you feeling?
It's very surreal. Very surreal in the sense that you just never expect to see or know somebody in your neighborhood that was either with somebody and had something terrible happen, or could have been, much less, actually the perpetrator of something terrible happening to somebody.
And the Laundries, how well do you know them, the parents?
Not very well, just to say hi on the street and that sort of deal. So that was usually about the extent of it.
Yeah. Do you feel, look, you're a taxpayer of Florida, you're a taxpayer of the United States. There's a lot going on right now looking for him. Do you kind of wish that the parents were talking a little bit more, or not? Do you think?
If they have knowledge, yes, I would love to say, please share more information. If they don't have knowledge, then there's only so much they can do as too. I think yes, it's crazy that they're going through this just for one person, but I really hope it's a fruitful search. That, if nothing else, at least it provides answers to what the heck happened.
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
I didn't touch the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot.
But did you grab the steering wheel and
no.
swerve or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
I will see if I can find some.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
An autopsy performed on September 21st confirmed that the body found in Wyoming was that of Gabby Petito.
Think very hard. When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do to him? No. What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff? What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me something.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him. It's your call. This is 100% your call. I support you either way.
I'll let you get back to your parents, okay?
The FBI issued an arrest warrant for Laundrie, as he's accused of swiping Gabby's Capital One debit card and running up a $1,000 balance from August 31st until September 1st. Gabby's remains are set to be cremated as her family prepares for a memorial to say a final farewell to the 22-year-old. The funeral service for Gabby is slated for Sunday, September 26th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at Maloney's Hallbrook Funeral Home in Hallbrook, New York. Gabby Petito's sad and tragic ending has many of us questioning how this whole thing happened. Her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, is suspected to be on the run, while a search continues on to find him. Luckily, Gabby was found, but sadly, she met her demise. It was only her remains that were found, and it's reported that Gabby Petito's death is a homicide. Autopsy finds. Authorities search for fiancé. The human remains found in Wyoming National Forest are those of Gabby Petito. The FBI confirmed Tuesday, citing autopsy results that listed homicide as the manner of death. What does that tell us? That they've used that word homicide specifically? Well, actually, saying that it's homicide, they're being quite vague, and they are not giving us details at this point. You might be interested to know what the difference is between homicide and murder. There are 4 types of homicide charges: capital murder, manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide, and murder. A homicide that is both planned and deliberate. Some homicides are automatically considered first-degree murder. The act committed during a hijacking, SA, kidnapping, hostage-taking, terror, intimidation, and criminal harassment. Homicide is simply the killing of one person by another. Murder is a homicide committed with malice aforethought. That doesn't mean it is a malicious killing. Malice aforethought is the common law way of saying that it is an unjustified killing. Examples of homicide. Criminal homicides involve either negligence or willful intent, and range from involuntary manslaughter, killing another motorist in a drunk driving accident, for example, that would be involuntary, to first-degree murder, stalking and killing a member of a rival gang, for instance. What is the difference between the 3 degrees of murders? Putting aside felony murder, the real difference between first and second-degree murder is the intent or mindset the defendant had when they took the action they did. Third-degree murder, also called manslaughter, is an unplanned, unintentional killing that is not part of another felony. Is accidental killing manslaughter? A death caused by a lawful act done under the reasonable belief that no harm was likely to result. Accidental killing is different from involuntary manslaughter, which causes death by an unlawful act, or a lawful act done in an unlawful way. Another question would be, are all homicides criminal? The answer is, not all homicides are crimes or subject to criminal prosecution. Some are legally privileged, meaning that they are not criminal acts at all. Others may occur under circumstances that provide the defendant with a full or partial defense to criminal prosecution. Wikipedia shows us that homicide is an act of a human killing another person. A homicide requires only a volitional act that causes the death of another, and thus homicide may result from accidental, reckless, or negligent acts, even if there is no intent to cause harm. Homicides can be divided into many overlapping legal categories, including murder, manslaughter, justifiable homicide, killing in war, either following the laws of war or as a war crime, euthanasia, and capital punishment, depending on the circumstances of the death. These different types of homicides are often treated very differently in human societies. Some are considered crimes, while others are permitted or even ordered by the legal system. Criminal homicide takes many forms, including accidental killing or murder. criminal homicide is divided into two broad categories: murder and manslaughter, based upon the state of mind and intent of the person who commits the homicide. A report issued by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime in July 2019 documented that nearly 464,000 people around the world were killed in homicides in 2017, a number significantly in excess of 89,000 killed in armed conflicts during the same period. Murder is the most serious crime that can be charged following a homicide. In many jurisdictions, murder may be punished by life in prison or even capital punishment. Although categories of murder can vary in jurisdiction, murder charges fall under two broad categories: first-degree murder, the premeditated, unlawful, intentional killing of another person; second-degree murder, the intentional, unlawful killing of another person, but without any premeditation. In some jurisdictions, a homicide that occurs during the commission of a dangerous crime may constitute murder, regardless of the actor's intent to commit homicide. In the United States, this is known as the felony murder rule. In simple terms, under the felony murder rule, a person who commits a felony may be guilty of murder if someone dies as a result of the commission of that crime, including the victim of the felony, a bystander, or a co-felon, regardless their intent or lack thereof to kill, and even when the death results from the actions of a co-defendant or third party who is reacting to the crime. Manslaughter is a form of homicide in which the person who commits the homicide either does not intend to kill the victim or kills the victim as the result of circumstances that would cause a reasonable person to become emotionally or mentally disturbed to the point of potentially losing control of their actions. The distinction between murder and manslaughter is sometimes said to have first been made by the ancient Athenian lawmaker Draco in the 7th century BC. The penalty for manslaughter is normally less than the penalty for murder. The two broad categories of manslaughter are voluntary manslaughter, the intentional, unpremeditated killing of another person as the result of a disturbed state of mind or heat of passion; involuntary manslaughter, the unintentional killing of another person through an act of recklessness that shows indifference to the lives and safety of others, or an act of negligence that could reasonably be foreseen to result in death. The act that results in death may be intentional, such as pushing somebody in anger. Another form of manslaughter in some jurisdictions is constructive manslaughter, which may be charged if a person causes a death without intention but as the result of violating another important safety law or regulation. Brian Laundrie is officially a wanted man after the feds issued an arrest warrant Wednesday and charged him with one count of use of unauthorized access devices. Specifically, prosecutors claim Laundrie used a Capital One bank debit card belonging to Gabby, but made it clear that the warrant is related to Mr. Laundrie's activities following the death of Gabby Petito. Brian has not been seen for over a week. His family reported he went for a hike with his backpack and never returned. This was a few days before Gabby's body was found at a Wyoming state park, and the coroner ruled her death a homicide. Brian Laundrie sleuths online think he has a burner phone after spotting changes to his Spotify and Instagram accounts. The online chatter comes as the Laundrie family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, confirmed that the 23-year-old left his home without his wallet or cell phone on the day he disappeared. Since Laundrie's disappearance, sleuths have closely monitored his social media pages, claiming the 23-year-old fugitive has unfollowed several people on Instagram. Another wild conspiracy tossed around is that Laundrie may be hiding on a boat to evade police after claims circulated on Twitter that he went live on Instagram for a matter of seconds on Monday. A clip circulating on Twitter appears to show a body of water and the side of a green vessel before abruptly cutting out. Viewers of the clip are attempting to claim that Laundrie accidentally went live on Instagram before realizing and hastily cutting off the feed. Afterward, internet users fascinated by the case insist they have proof that Laundrie allegedly created a Spotify playlist called Self-Consumption shortly after Gabby Petito vanished. Online sleuths then allege that the playlist name had changed to Nomadic Static, the name of the travel YouTube channel that Laundrie 23 and Gabby 22 created. Investigators searched the Carlton Reserve, where he was heading to when he disappeared. Police, FBI agents, and canines started searching the 24,000-acre nature reserve last weekend without success. The reserve is believed to be infested with alligators, poisonous snakes, and mosquitoes, and has thick foliage complicating the search. Laundrie and Petito were roughly 2 months into a 4-month adventure when Laundrie returned to his Florida home with their van on September the 1st. The free-spirited Long Island native, Gabby, was last seen on August 24th, checking out of a hotel with fiancé Brian Laundrie in Salt Lake City, Utah.